Okay. Um, I thought somebody wanted me to talk about what happened here a couple of years ago when I first tried to come back online on Facebook, and everything went nuts. There were a whole lot of Canadian people here, and they seemed okay. But there was something else going on. And around Christmas it got... I can't exactly remember the times. But I should give you an idea of my mental state, because I was just reminded of it just now and last night and today. During this time I kept feeling that I was going into hell. And people would say to me, they'd comment on the weather, and they'd say, oh, it's going to get hot now. And it's because somebody yesterday told me it's going to get hot tomorrow. And I remembered all this stuff, and I just went and sat down, and it felt like it did back then. Everything just changed, and the kind of state of mind I'm in, I'm thinking about things that have been hidden, knowledge that we don't have in public domain anymore. Paganism, witchcraft, animism, nature spirits, and all these things. And in order to be open to these ideas, you open yourself to a lot of other ideas. And it's a really, you're easy meat for Psy Warfare. So I think that's what they were doing to me. And there seemed to be a kind of pretty organized thing going on. If it was that, it was very well organized. Actors everywhere, people behaving differently and putting out strange things, you know. I heard somebody reincarnating the vice president down in the Kancha. They were doing some religious ceremony, and they were reincarnating the vice president. And I thought, somebody's pulling my fucking leg. You don't reincarnate that cunt. This whole thing was going on, and for instance, somebody would walk past me, and there would be two of something in the place. One on one side of the Prado, a van with some selling balloons or something, and some distinctive letrero on it, and some girls. And you don't really notice these things. You see the van. But then you go around 3 corners later, somewhere different, and you see the same van, and you think, well, how did that van get here? Because it's one way on the Prado, and then later on somebody walks past me and says, "He visto uno igualito otro lado," talking about me to his girlfriend. All this stuff was going on, and people were feeding me tons of bread and behaving really fucking weirdly. And so that's why I behaved really fucking weirdly. And in addition, I had all this fucking weird shit on Facebook. Facebook were doing this this ad thing where they suddenly blasted everyone with crazy adverts. And my friends were on Facebook, and I was just, in the end, I was just responding to the adverts and having fun and going mad. I mean, it was good for sparking ideas, but I mean, if anybody was in that time evaluating my state of mental health, and they didn't know what was going on the Facebook or what I was seeing, they wouldn't have come up with a very good evaluation. And I got messages from my father saying things like, "You look like you're about finished." All sorts of fucking crazy stuff. Old pictures, messages from my father saying that he didn't find me in a photograph, but I know that there is of my mum and me. As a little boy, I was holding the car door and stopping her from getting out of the car. And he showed this picture on my father's Facebook page, and I wasn't there, just my mum. And I said, I remember there was a little chap in that picture, but what happened? He said, oh, I've checked the archive, there's no other photo. That's supposedly my father. I don't suppose it was, but I don't know. And then another one, which I think was a really old picture of Steve and of Marg and Pete Jarvis and Dad sitting on the